I can't hear you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of the Coffin Corner Podcast. It's season 4, and we are getting things rolling. I am here with my good friend, Richie. Richie, what's up?
Not too much. I just slightly changed the episode 3 to episode 4 in our notes because this is actually technically episode 4 of this season.
Did I say 3? Thanks for screwing
You
me
did,
over
because
there.
that's what it said. I forgot to change it. Like I said,
welcome to episode
I could have
4,
just
everyone.
changed it without you knowing, but I owned up to it. But yeah, it's episode 4. It's week 2 of the preseason. I'm ready to go. I'm already like fantasy football drafts. My first one is next week, a week from tomorrow. So I am just raring to go.
A week from tomorrow, nice.
Week from tomorrow is my first one.
I actually have a draft this Wednesday, but it is not. It is fantasy football, but it is not NFL football.
NFL, yes, it's a league that you did not think to invite me to, and now you've just been bragging about being in it.
It's gonna be great.
Constantly throwing it in my face.
Here's the good news. After one season, there's always empty spaces, so I'll get you in there
hopefully
next
you
year.
think of me next year, I guess.
Yeah, I have all year to think about my mistake. So there's that. I think all of my fantasy football drafts are on the same weekend. I have like 2 on a Saturday and 2 on a Sunday.
Yeah, I try to schedule all mine Labor Day weekend. We have our Dynasty draft Saturday. I have another league that I joined with my friend Callie that same day. Then Sunday I have 3 drafts from 10 a.m. to like 9 p.m. And then Wednesday after I have another draft. So,
Oh man.
yeah. I just like to do them that weekend. You know, people usually are off for 3 days. Usually there's time. Some people travel, but most of the people in our leagues don't really travel, so it's usually pretty simple.
Not
It's
to
just a
mention
matter
you
of trying to
get
balance.
most of the preseason. You can avoid the injuries.
That's the big one, is like in the past when there used to be 4 weeks, it was like, all right, well, all the games are done, so no one's going to get hurt. Now there's only 3. It's like, well, I guess technically we could draft, you know, next weekend there's still, I don't know. Now I'm confused, but anyways, yeah. I just don't like drafting before all the games are done, because it's like, yeah, somebody's going to get hurt.
Exactly.
Or like I remember
set up
a couple years ago.
I set up my hockey league, my dynasty hockey league that's starting up this year. I set it up to have the draft October 3rd, which is the weekend before the NHL season starts. You know, preseason's over,
Yeah.
do the draft. Everybody that joined this league is like, can we move the draft up? They're like, nobody wants
Yeah.
to wait because it's so far away. They all want to draft early. So we might be moving it up 2 weeks just because people don't want to wait. They want to draft their pick.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. It's like, I want to draft as close to the season as possible so that all of the cuts and everything are done. I remember a couple years ago, my dad took Leonard Fournette in the 5th round when he was still a buck, and he got cut after the draft.
Yeah,
It
perfect.
was like, it's like, yeah, that's why you try to draft after cuts are done. We'll see.
Since it's a dynasty hockey league, maybe that's why it doesn't matter as much, because if you draft someone that's hurt and young, they're still going to be on your team forever, you know? So
Yeah.
maybe that's why they're not worried.
People are just impatient.
Yeah. I was the only vote so far. Out of 12, there's been 6 votes. 5 of them were to do it 2 weeks early, and mine was the only one that said no. So we're probably doing it early. Anyways, what do we got for top 5?
So top 5, this just popped in my head randomly. I thought it'd be a good one. We've probably done this before, but I don't remember when. Top 5 sports stadiums. I kind of assumed this was stadiums we've been to, but we could have also included stadiums we want to go to.
I'm glad you said
but I
that,
went with
because
just-
I only put ones that I've been to.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did too.
You've
but
been
I
to a
was like,
lot
well,
more
you know,
than me, so it was a little
I have,
weirder
and
for my.
spoiler alert, most of them are garbage. My number 5, it's probably low. for some people, but I'm going with Wrigley Field. I had to put it on the list because the Ivy is iconic and it is part of baseball history. It is, however, a very, very old and dirty stadium. Sorry to our Chicago listeners. It's magical to go there, but it's just it also hey, they've probably done some work. I haven't been there in 10 years, but it is an icon to see that Ivy field. It's pretty amazing to be there in person. But when I went there last, it was just like, maybe we update the seats and the bathrooms especially. I remember were pretty disgusting.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, I would probably rank Fenway pretty high if I'd been there, but I guarantee it's probably the exact same way.
Well, and I'll tell you, I've been to Lambeau Field, and I know, I hate the Packers, but I respect NFL history, and Lambeau Field obviously has a lot. But the stadium itself it's just concrete bleacher seating. It's horrible. Like it's like, yeah, it's been here for a long time, but it felt like a college stadium when I was there. So sorry, Packers, but your stadium is not on my top 5.
Gotcha. All right, well, my number 5 is a stadium that you probably never expected. Between.
I swear to God, I thought this was a player when you put the name, and then because then after your parentheses information, I'm like, why did he put a college basketball player on here?
No, remember. So, literally, all of my stadiums are between Arizona and San Diego. The most I did not travel a lot to see sports in my life, only the places where I've lived, right? So a lot of Arizona and a lot of San Diego here, but I'm gonna go with one that no one would probably expect from San Diego, and that is San Diego State's men's basketball stadium, which is Viejas Arena. Viejas, you might remember, it was a casino down there in San Diego. So the arena was named after the casino. But the thing I always remember at this place is, right, when you walk in the doors, you walk into the what do you call the outside area where all the food and everything is?
Concourse.
Yes, so you walk right in onto the concourse, and the concourse is at the top of all the stairs, and the stadium is built, or the court is built down in the ground, right? So you walk in and you immediately see the court down in the ground, and you're at the top of all the stairs. Crazy. Like, it is a really interesting stadium. I know they got some nicknames for it because of the fact that it's built into the ground like that, but I can't remember them off the top of my head. But I remember I went to a San Diego State University of Arizona basketball game there, and I thought that place was freaking awesome. So put that one on 5.
Nice. That is pretty cool. Kind of an interesting idea too. If you're afraid of heights, it's like, well, we'll just bury it underground then. My number 4 is Ford Field. Went there in 2015. Unfortunately, saw the Lions lose. But the stadium was really cool. I like it felt a lot like the Cardinals Stadium, but just it felt more open. The concourse of the Cardinals Stadium can feel a little closed in at times. And Ford Field, it had a lot of one of the end of the field is completely open. And there's a lot of area you can kind of stand and look down in, kind of like how the Cardinals do it, but there's more room to walk around, and the heights above you, like the ceilings above you, there's a lot of open space. You're not just right underneath all the seats. I don't know, just I like the flow. I don't know how old it is, but it was clean. The bathrooms were nice. The people were really cool, even though they lost. But yeah, I was like, this is a pretty nice stadium.
Well, it's pretty new. Because I can remember them playing at, what is it, the Pontiac Dome?
The Silver Dome?
Silver Dome.
Silver Dome?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pontiac Silver Dome.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, I think it might be 15 years old. I'm not totally sure.
Oh, jeez. Because I went in 2015, so then it was
23.
Freaking new at that point.
So I was a little off. 23 years.
So I was about 13 years old when I went. Yeah, still in really good shape. Yeah.
Nice. I want to go there someday. That would be awesome.
For sure.
Also have a football stadium on my number 4, and it is one that I saw a lot of games at, and not just NFL, but bowl games, all kinds of stuff. And that is Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, which I'm not even sure. I heard that they were getting rid of it, so I don't even know if it's still there right now. Hopefully.
I thought they already did get rid of it. Yeah, I'll look it up while you talk about it.
But I just remember going to games there. The parking lot surrounds that place like a land ocean. It's massive, all the way in circles all around it. And I remember the Chargers games I went to going with friends from the Navy, and the barbecues before games were insane in that Qualcomm parking lot. That place was hopping every Sunday. And then all the bowl games there were super fun. Like, it's just a fun place to see football games. And I miss it. I wish the Chargers never left, and I wish they, even if they had to upgrade Qualcomm or drop it and put something else there, that it was just the perfect spot for a football stadium. And an iconic place,
well,
no matter how bad it is.
It was demolished in 2020. And Snapdragon Stadium was opened in 2022. It is the home to the SDSU football team, the San Diego FC teams for both men and women. So yeah, it is. Qualcomm unfortunately is gone, but there is a new stadium there. I can't find any good pictures of it. It looks a hell of a lot smaller.
I'll bet it is. It's a college stadium now.
Yeah. Oh, I guess actually it's so Qualcomm was more upright. This it's more open like this. But it is still pretty big. Got the same parking lots around it, and practice fields too. So
yeah, see, the picture I'm looking at reminds me a lot of Qualcomm, because the bottom bowl of Qualcomm was always very low angled. When a lot of stadiums you go to, the seats are very high angled. So Qualcomm always kind of sprawled out, and this Snapdragon place looks a lot like, at least on the one side that doesn't have the upper deck, looks a lot like the old one did. That's pretty cool. That the place looks fun.
Yeah, it does look pretty cool.
They probably still do bowl games there, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look that up. That'd be cool to go to.
For sure.
My number 3, it's funny, it's both of our number 3, is State Farm Stadium. And I'm going to preface this by saying, if this was 3 years ago, before they got rid of the red zone and put in those stupid casitas, this probably would have been higher 2 or 1 for me. Yeah. It might have even been number 1. But I had to dock Michael Bidwell for being a money hungry. It is a great stadium, though. Considering the stadium's about 19, 20 years old, it's still in really good shape, really clean. Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere is cool. I love the roof, the way it opens up. Natural grass in a dome is awesome. And yeah, before they started making all their stupid seating changes, it was a really great stadium and a lot of fun to go to.
I mean, just the fact that both ends of the end zone have video screens is pretty great. So no matter where you're sitting, you get a video screen that you can see, which makes... I feel like replay is such a big thing in sports that if you get a seat where you can't see the video board for a replay, it completely takes away from the game. Just the way that things are now. Now, obviously, it hasn't always been that way, but that's what we're used to now with TV. And so them having big screens on either side of the end zone is great. I love their little walkway under the big screen with the air horn that they start before the games. Like, that place is just really cool.
Yeah. And like after 2020, they really started to expand their concession options and give you like more options than just hot dogs and basic stuff, and partnered with like local restaurants and stuff. Like it like I said, it probably would have been my number 1 if they had not done stupid shit.
Any stadium with Spinatos, and now they have some burrows there. Like, I love it. I wish Chase Field would get Spinatos, but instead all we get is New York Pizza. I can't remember the name.
Streets of New York.
Streets of New York. Yeah, I wish Streets of New York would be gone and Spinato's would go in there. No offense, but Spinato's is way better.
No offense, Streets of New York, if you're listening.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, so then I'll move on to my number 2, which is T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. I've been here for concerts and hockey games. It is so awesome to have an arena like that is literally a 5-minute walk from hotels. Like, I stay at the New York. You literally walk out the door and you just 5 minutes and you're in the side of the stadium. It's so awesome. The stadium is really cool. Like I said, I went there for concerts. They were great. Went there for a Golden Knights Bruins game. Going there for another Golden Knights Bruin game in October. It is an awesome arena. I really want to go to the stadium they have out there. I can't remember. But the tickets are just unreasonably expensive to go see the Raiders play football. So, that'll have to wait.
I'm kind of
can't wait for them to open their baseball game stadium.
I'm kind of excited to see the Las Vegas Athletics there.
Yeah, I've seen renderings of it where like the outfield faces the strip and is open, so it's like all like at night games you just get to see the New York and MGM. Like,
that would be super cool.
Yeah, it sounds pretty awesome. But yeah, T-Mobile Arena, man, good arena. Once they eventually get a basketball team, I'll probably go to a game at some point there.
I might, depending on how I like it, I might have a T-Mobile on my list next year. Because though I'm not going to Vegas, in September I'm going to see a game for the Mariners at T-Mobile, what was it, T-Mobile Park? Yeah.
Oh, nice.
In Seattle, so.
There you go.
I was like, T-Mobile Arena, like, does he have the Mariners field on there? I didn't realize that. That's pretty cool. My number 2 is Petco Park in San Diego. As far as baseball goes, that park is amazing. I love the steel supply building in left field that's like playable space where like the home runs can go onto the patios of that building that they built the stadium around. I was there at Petco Park on the literal last row of the top upper deck when Barry Bonds hit his either his game tie or home run record tying or home run breaking home run. I can't remember which one it was, but I was there when Barry Bonds did that in Petco Park. I just had I have a lot of good memories there, and I've never had a bad seat there either. Even at the very top of the upper deck. I just really like games at Petco Park.
Nice. I purposely left that stadium off because I knew it would be on yours. Yeah, love Petco. I think I only went to 1 or 2 games there, but yeah, that building and the outfield's so cool, so iconic. It is a great stadium
for sure.
And then my number 1, it's a more for the vibes than anything, but I also do love the architecture. It's Soldier Field. Going to Soldier Field, flying out there, going with my dad and the Brookses. Shout out to Ed and Carol if they're listening. So much fun. The parking is a nightmare because it's like 5 different parking lots that are all nowhere near the stadium.
I'm looking at it, I don't even see the parking lots.
The parking's terrible, but the stadium, the columns are awesome. The military theme, obviously, as a veteran, is appreciated. I love it. Yeah, it's just every game I've gone to, even games where it's 9 degrees and raining, and my dad bought ponchos with no legs, and no arms, so it's basically just a poncho vest, and or it's a Commanders Chicago game that ends in a 12-9 game on a Thursday night, and it's 10 degrees. Like, even when the weather's terrible and the teams on the field have been terrible, still fun. And like I said, those columns, so cool to walk down that around the concourse with those big ivory columns around you. Just the architecture is just unique.
Yeah, that place, I never really looked at it, but I just was looking, and that it looks very cool.
Yeah, it's just
The
it's a
bottom
different. Like
section,
I've been
and
to a
if
lot
you
of.
didn't have the upper decks poking out and you just saw the bottom section, you'd think it was a like Washington D.C. building.
Well, those upper decks were added. I think like 20 years ago. So like if you look at older pictures before those, it looks like a Roman Colosseum. Like it's pretty
crazy.
cool. Yeah. So and I've been to Baltimore, Philly, FedEx Field didn't make it on here, even though I have a blast every time I go there because that stadium is just trash. Like whenever they build their new stadium, I'm very excited for that. But yeah.
Gotcha. All right, well, my number one is the place where I have season tickets to. My beloved team is there. I got my shirt on right now. And that's Chase Field, formerly known as Bank One Ballpark, probably the stadium of all stadiums that I've been to more than anything ever. That is just my happy place. I love going there. I've probably sat in most sections of that place at this point. I love
the boxes.
I love that after, like almost 30 years, the stadium is still fun to go to. They now are going to have the funding to fix it up, get better stuff, fix the AC, because Jesus Christ.
When we went last week, I was legitimately like overheating.
Well, it's funny because they finally passed that bill to give more money to that stadium. And the first thing they said is they're fixing the ACs. And they're like, please don't get upset next year when you come and don't see changes. You won't see the changes. You'll just feel them. And I'm like, when it's 120 outside and I can not be sweating all game, even though it's still cool in there, like that'll be great. But yeah. Over the next 5 years, that place is going to change a lot. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it because it'll be super cool.
Nice.
So that's my number one. I love Chase Field. And
Awesome.
I still call it Bob sometimes.
I still do too. And that's perfectly fine. Next year, yeah, we'll do this again next year when you've got some Seattle that you can review and hopefully some others. All right, but let's dive on in.
We're trying to go for our anniversary to go watch a hockey game, so we'll see. We'll see where we go and if that one's good. I know we were talking
Vegas.
Talking about Vegas because over our anniversary weekend, one of our other teams we like will be playing in Vegas. So
there you go.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right, so let's dive in. So for news this week, just recap highlights. Starting off quarterbacks. So Cam Ward, number one pick, went 5 of 8 for 67 yards. Not terrible. Nothing. Looked solid. Jackson Dart, 12 of 19, 154 yards, 1 touchdown. Also ran 3 times for 24 yards. So pretty solid there, too.
Then why did I see a headline? It had to have been clickbait that was like, is Jackson Dart playing himself out of the Giants' quarterback plans? And I'm like, did he play bad? I didn't even notice. I'm like,
that's an AI. That's an AI headline.
Yeah, exactly.
Tyler Schuff, or I think it's pronounced Shuck.
Yeah.
Even though there's a G and an H at the end. 15 of 22, 165 yards, 1 touchdown pick, 1 carry for 3 yards. Again, not bad.
Another one where I literally heard on the radio them talking about him doing bad. Maybe the interception was just really bad, but those stats are not terrible.
Yeah, and again, I mean, play-by-play wise, I mean, maybe they looked bad, but you look at the stat line, and it's like, I mean, for a rookie starting their first game in the preseason, I've seen a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah, box score watching
and then
that
Shedeur
doesn't look
Sanders.
Terrible.
Yeah. 14 of 23, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 carries for 19 yards. And again, if you listen to the national media, Shedeur Sanders looked like the second coming of Jesus compared to everybody else.
Well, his stats are the same as...
like,
well, yeah.
Yeah, and I put this out on Twitter because it annoys the shit out of me. Preseason literally means nothing.
No.
So the fact that, if you want to talk about great Shedeur Sanders, Dart and Shuck, it's like, fine, but it still doesn't mean anything. Colt Brennan once looked like Tom Brady in the preseason, and the dude was out of the league the next year. So let's all just remember that this is pretty.
The Lions went 4-0.
I think solid from all of them.
The Lions went 4-0 in the preseason. The season that they went 0-16. So,
yes, I tweeted that out too. Not to be disrespectful, just because it is.
That is a thing that happened. It is history.
Yes, that is a historic fact. Yeah, those are the 4 rookie quarterbacks that I'm sure at some point we will see playing in the regular season this year. And all of them look pretty good. So we'll see what they do in week 2. Ashton Genty, 3 carries for -1. Whatever. You know, I'm sure that the defense was keying on him and playing, just loading the box anyways.
Didn't Marvin Harrison Jr., his first game and only game in the preseason last year, have 1 catch for like -2 yards?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
and Jamar Chase's rookie year, he kept dropping the ball in the preseason, and everybody thought he lost. And now look at him. So again, it's doesn't matter. This is glorified practice. But Tate McMillan, 2 catches for 43 yards over the shoulder. I did see that highlight. Shoulder grab he had for 30 yards. That was a pretty nice catch from him.
Nice.
Jaguars kicker Cam Little kicked a 70-yard field goal. That
I did
doesn't
hear about
count.
that. That's insane.
Yeah. That's pretty nuts. It should, the NFL record, they should just call it the record. Who cares it was in the preseason? The dude kicked a 70-yard field goal.
I need a new dynasty kicker, so
there you go. And here's the funny thing: if I'm Liam Cohen, week 1, I'm lining up to kick a 70-yard field. Can get the
I'm just the record.
Just being yeah, screw it, kid. Go do it again. We'll put your name in the record books because damn, that's impressive.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then the only big injury I saw, Tajay Spears out multiple weeks with a high ankle sprain. That does impact, fantasy wise because he's a good handcuff. I didn't see any other major injury news. There's some Matthew Stafford's back, and I guess Shedeur Sanders oblique that are day to day, but no one. After going over all the out for the seasons last week, it's nice not to have any
extras after a full week of games. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, and then on to our preseason week 1 depth charge. I missed it technically by 2 because the Dolphins and Bears ended in a tie and was voided. The Chiefs beat the Cardinals, but then the Steelers over the Jags charged over the. I didn't get it, but I only got 2 right technically. You had 3 out of 4. Because Mitchell Trubisky screwed you, even though he actually had a pretty good game. Yeah. Yeah. Bills lost the Giants, but then you had the Jets over Packers. Niners Chargers paid out. So, yeah. So close. So close.
Yeah.
So we'll do it again in week 2. This time mine is not, last week mine was plus 21-20, which would have been awesome. This one's plus 13-13, so still, pretty good return. I went with the Lions over the Dolphins. Shitting on the Lions for their first 2 games offensively, and I think they're going to turn around and shut some people up this week, even though it is only preseason. I still think they'll send a message. Cowboys over Ravens.
Well,
Joe
if you look at
starting the game.
Sorry, this is a random. If you look at what happened in the Lions-Dolphins joint practice this week and the things that were said, I think that's a good pick, Lions over Dolphins, because Grant Stewart, one of the linebackers of the Lions, because the practice was so lopsided on the Lions side, said, I don't even think these guys practice like we do. It's it was bad. So.
Well, good. Go out there and show it on the field so I can win my bet.
Exactly.
I'm going with the Cowboys over Ravens because they're starting Joe, and I expect him to do pretty well. Bills over Bears because it's the Bears. And Bengals over Commanders because it's the Commanders. Our Commanders' depth is atrocious. So, yeah. So that's mine. What do you got?
All right, so for number 1, I've got the Eagles over the Browns. Sorry, 1 second. All right, there we go. Because Shedeur Sanders is not going to play this game after he played last week's game and did well. And then I just don't trust the Browns' depth. So
I don't even know who their other they have so many hurt quarterbacks that I don't know who actually is going to play this.
Yeah, exactly. Joe Flacco probably.
That would suck.
Well, then there's that guy they signed. Who did they sign as their 5th quarterback? I forget. Transactions.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'll find it. Tyler Huntley. August 5th, they signed Tyler Huntley.
Oh, that's right. Snoop, former Pro Bowler.
Former Pro Bowl Tyler Huntley. Yeah, so you're probably going to see a lot of Tyler Huntley because I just looked up the depth chart on ESPN and everybody was questionable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Browns depth chart. Hold up. Here we go. It shows Joe Flacco not injured, Kenny Pickett questionable, Dylan Gabriel questionable, and Shedeur Sanders questionable.
Sandals Resort.
So, yeah. Eagles over Browns. Next up, I've got the Panthers over the Texans. I think the Panthers... I went and looked before I made this pick at who the backup quarterback for the Panthers was. And it's
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton and last year's darling, Jack Plummer. So, remember him?
That's right, yes.
No. So we got the Panthers over the Texans. I got them just because I saw Jack Plummer there, and I'm like, okay, I like this.
Good reasoning.
Raiders over the 49ers. I just feel like Pete Carroll will have his team riled up in their first year, even if it's the preseason. And the 49ers are just... they've lost their depth, and they just have to have their starters be good. And even then, with how little depth I think they have, they're probably not playing their starters for very long in this game. So I'll take the Raiders. And then I have the Jets over the Giants because last week I had the Jets over the Packers and I got that. And the Giants screwed me. So for the Battle of New York, I'm taking the Jets. Also, I did look up the Jets backup quarterbacks before this. So who was it? Bringing it up again. It was Tyrod Taylor, Adrian Martinez, and Brady Cook, the guy that I draft. The quarterback I talked about before the draft, Brady Cook. So, Adrian Martinez did really well in his last week. Brady Cook did really well last week in the games they played. So, after Justin Fields goes out, those two take over. I still think they can beat the Giants, even if the Bills can't.
I like it. Well, hopefully we'll both hit it, or at least one of us will, because that would be a pretty sweet little payout to start the season.
For sure.
All right. So we're going to dive into our offseason recap. This week we are doing the South Division, starting off with the AFC South. Houston Texans won the division last year with a record of 10-7. They also finished 10-7 in 2023 and won the division. This offseason they lost Case Keenum, their backup, Stephon Diggs, Deontay Johnson, Larry Tunsil, a big one, guard Shaq Mason, Kenyon Green, so a lot of their offensive line. Devin White, Jeff Okudah, name sounds familiar, Eric Murray. They gained Nick Chubb, solid running back. Christian Kirk, love him. Justin Watson, Cam Robinson, Brown, Ed Ingram, Sheldon Rankins, EJ Speed, Ronald Darby, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He has been around. It's a good safety. So they did lose some piece of their offensive line, some receivers, but they signed a bunch of offensive linemen, and then they drafted Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll. So they drafted 2 receivers, signed Christian Kirk. I mean, I think they did a pretty good job. Everyone said, C.J. Stroud didn't take the step that people, he had a good rookie year, and then everyone's like, Patrick
First
Mahomes.
half of last season was rough for him, and he managed to pull it out in the second half, which is crazy because all of his receivers were hurt in the second half. So it wasn't a great season, but he did show a lot of poise at the end of the season.
Yeah, people act like he had a horrible year, and I don't think he did. He just didn't have the MVP year that everybody thought he was going to when they took him as a top 5 quarterback in drafts last year.
It is kind of crazy to me. Don't they have Joe Mixon?
They do.
So they signed Nick Chubb, another viable, complete starter.
Yeah, I think Nick Chubb's going to be more like the change of pace guy, though.
Right. Well,
who's the
I'm
rookie
confused
that
why
had
Nick
one
Chubb
good
signed
year
there.
and then
So if
I
you're
don't
Nick
know.
Chubb,
Maybe
why are you signing a
nobody else
place where
wanted
they've
him.
got a
Maybe nobody else wanted him.
That's crazy.
I mean, he
to
didn't
me.
he didn't sign until June, so maybe he
Well,
legitimately didn't
maybe.
have any offers. But yeah, so FanDuel has their over under at 9. They've won 10 games the last 2 years. I don't see any reason they shouldn't win at least 10 again. I'm going over.
Let me look at who's in this division first. Yeah, that's rough.
It's a real who's who.
Yeah, that might be. That's 6 wins in itself. So they would only need 4 more. I feel inclined to go under, but I don't know who in this division I would go over on. Looking at these numbers, so I think I'm based solely on the fact that they play these other teams 6 times. I'm gonna have to go over. I think.
Yeah,
And
that's
even
kind of
then,
my
it might
reasoning.
only be the 10 again, a 3rd season in a row.
Oh yeah, I don't think they're going to win 13, but there's no reason they shouldn't get to 10 wins in this division, barring injuries. Which
My other problem
control
is
anyways.
on the Texans depth chart, their number 1 guy is probably Christian Kirk. Nico Collins, okay. I'll say you can't have a 5'10" guy as your number 1 receiver. Nico Collins is 6'4". Okay, that's good. Because that was worrying me. I'm like, what are we doing here? All right.
Yeah, I think Tank Dell's probably going to miss the whole year. But...
Oh yeah, Tank Dell. I forgot about him.
All right, so next up, Indianapolis Colts finished 2024 at 8-9. They lost Joe Flacco, who was quarterback for him, Trey Sermon, 2 of their tight ends, Will Freeze and Ryan Kelly, 2 good linemen, EJ Speed, Julian Blackman. They gained Daniel Jones, solid quarterback for him, Khalil Herbert, league, Travarius Ward, Cam Bynum. Drafted Tyler Warren, tight end in the first round. Some defensive pieces. Nobody big. I think the big thing for the Colts is the quarterback because Anthony Richardson is in a battle with Joe Flacco and Daniel Jones. Yeah. And after Anthony Richardson got hurt last week.
What a disappointing quarterback battle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I wonder how Colts fans feel about Anthony Richardson. Like legitimately, I don't know any, so it's hard to
Pat McAfee
ask somebody
doesn't seem to like him.
Oh, all right, that's fair.
That's so one fan.
That makes sense. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Anthony Richardson to me, it's like this would be his 3rd year. That's awfully quick to give up on somebody, but the dude just can't stay healthy. And when he's on the field, he doesn't look like that good of a quarterback. So who knows? Daniel Jones wins the job. They've still got Jonathan Taylor. They've got great receivers. Anyways, so 2025 FanDuel 7.5.
7.5, huh? That's so tough because I want to go over simply because they still have Jonathan Taylor, who is one of the best. Yeah. And that guy can take pressure off any quarterback with his running, which really helps, whoever, Daniel Jones or Richardson, whoever ends up playing. But I don't know really. Well, they have a really. You know what? I'm going over for one reason. Okay. I really like Jonathan Taylor, and I really like their wide receiver depth.
They got a lot of good receivers. Yeah, I'm going over, and I think it's because Daniel Jones wins the job. I think Daniel Jones starts week 1 as the starter, and I watched him as a Commanders fan. They play the Giants twice a year. He's not bad. And I think this will be the best offense he's had around him. So yeah, no. I'm going over. I think they can at least get back to 8, maybe even flirt with a wild card spot.
Like Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, Adonai Mitchell.
Yeah, they got a lot of good.
They got a lot of good receivers on that team. And Tyler Warren is a rookie this
right.
year, right?
Yeah, that's the tight end they took in the first round.
Yeah, so like.
And if Jonathan Taylor plays the whole season, like that's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Colts could have a very good year this year. All right, next up, Jaguars finished 2024 at 4-13. They hired a new head coach, Liam Cohen, who was the offensive coordinator in Bay. They lost C.J. Beathard, backup quarterback. They lost Ingram, Luke Farrell, Brandon Scherf, Andrew Sisko. They signed Nick Mullins as backup, Diami Brown from the Johnny Mullins. Janice Gardeck. Oh, that's where Gardeck went. Emmanuel Ogba, Jordan. Drafted, of course, Travis Hunter, second overall. And then Wyatt Millum, Caleb Ranshaw, Jack Kaiser, some people there.
Jack Kaiser,
So,
that was another one
thing...
of those linebacker names that I was really high on.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah. Nice. There you go. So, Jaguars, yeah, new head coach. Did really well in Tampa Bay as offensive coordinator. They drafted Travis Hunter, signed Andrew Brown. The thing with me is 2020. So FanDuel has their over/under at 7.5.
I don't know where they got that
they
from.
think, yeah, they think Jacksonville's going to take a big jump. So I do these notes, and when I was doing these notes, I went in and was just up this cut and paste from last year. Mm-hmm. Last year, FanDuel had their over/under at like 8.5, and they finished with. Mm-hmm. So clearly, FanDuel just thinks the Jaguars are better. And I don't know, maybe Liam Cohen gets Trevor Lawrence to finally play like everybody thought he would when he was drafted number 1. I'm going to go under. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is ever really going to take that next step.
If they got, what is that, 50% better, they'd still be under?
They'd have to be 100% better. Oh, yeah. If they got 50% better.
If they were 50% better than they were last season, they'd still be under on the record here. So I'm definitely.
They literally would have to be twice as good as they were last year.
Exactly. And I'm looking at these losses and gains and draft, and I don't see anything that's making so much of a difference to change off that 4. So.
No.
And I just don't believe in Travis Lawrence.
The biggest thing is. No, Trevor Lawrence is to me at this point.
Travis Lawrence. Travis Hunter and Trevor Lawrence mixed.
Trevor Hunter and Travis Lawrence. Yeah. And the dude, Trevor Lawrence is getting paid a ridiculous amount of money to be the most mid quarterback you could possibly think. Like, it's insane.
Yep.
But that's the NFL, I guess. All right. Last but not least, Tennessee Titans finished 2024 at 3-14. Of course, got the number 1 pick, took Cam Ward. They lost Mason Rudolph, Nick Westbrook-Akine, Tyler Boyd. Yeah, he scored a lot of touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Dylan Redunds, good guard. Sebastian Jones-Day, Harold Landry, Jerome Baker. A lot of pieces on defense. They signed Brandon Allen as their backup with out for the year. They signed Tyler Lockett, Van Jefferson. Tyler Lockett's a pretty good possession receiver. Dan Moore, Kevin Zeitler on the line. Carlos Watkins, Cody Barton, linebacker. Xavier Woods, who I swear to God is a WWE guy. And then I just noticed that. It's like, oh.
Xavier Woods plays.
Then, yeah, took Cam Ward. Olu Olajuwon, linebacker, is one that I remember about. Drafted some receivers or tight ends. So, Titans really reloaded. Cam Ward obviously being the biggest one for them. I like Cam Ward. I watched videos of him in the pre-draft process, and like he just seems very down to earth and like focused. FanDuel has their over/under at 5.5. I'm gonna go over. I know that again. We were just talking about the Jaguars. That they're gonna have to double their win total from last year. But it's a lot easier to double than it is 4-8.
Yeah, that is true.
So, and I do believe and they still have Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard. They got a good offensive line. I think the Titans can get to 6 wins.
I'm going to, if I were to give them over, I would have to go back to the Texans and put them under. Because that's way too many overs here. So I'm still going to go under.
Yeah. All right. I was going to say, you can always change the Texans if you wanted to, but...
Well, I almost did when I put the Colts over. Because I forgot how good the Colts possession players are.
Yeah, the Colts really do. Like, the Colts could win the division if everything clicks for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a lot of things got to go right. Yeah, I mean the Titans going from 3 to 6, and who knows? But I do know they play like the NFC West. I think because I know they come to Arizona. 49ers, they are. Who knows with the Rams if Stafford's healthy? I think the Titans could pick up some wins. I guess I don't know, something about Cam Ward. Like I said, I watched like his stuff in the pre-draft process. I like this. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He seems serious, competitive. So I'm just hoping he'd be the third rookie quarterback in 3 years. Because we had C.J. Stroud, then Jaden, and Cam Ward.
Yeah, gotcha.
We'll see. All right, moving on to the NFC South.
Plus, I had to have one
with...
different than you, right?
Yeah, I think last week, did we end up with one different, or are they all the same?
All the same last week. So.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you got to find some difference.
Finally broke the pattern there.
All right, so Tampa Bay finished last year 10-7, won the lost the wild card round to the Commanders. Just got to point that out. They lost Justin School, Robert Hainsley, Wilson, Shaq Barrett, players right there. KJ Ryan Neal. Getting Charlie Heck, Hassan Reddick, good one, Anthony Walker. Drafted Emike Ogbuka, Benjamin Harrison, Jacob Parrish, David Waller. They also did lose Liam Cohen, offensive coordinator. And then FanDuel has their over-under at 9.5. So they won 10. Basically, FanDuel has them kind of finishing exactly with. They also are going to be getting, Mike Evans back healthy.
And
Chris Godwin's going to be back healthy. Yeah. This is a tough one. Just because, last, with the Texans, and it's like, the Colts, if everything goes right, the Colts could be better and challenge the Texans. Looking ahead at the Falcons, I think the Falcons will be better and challenge the Bucs. So for me, I'm looking at it like, do I go with under 9.5 because I think the Falcons may leapfrog them, or go with the over, because the Bucs will just squeak out another 10 wins. This is tough.
I really like the Buccaneers, and they didn't lose a lot, and they're getting more back, I think, than they lost, plus what they signed and drafted, which all points to me saying over, but I am going to say under for 2 reasons.
Okay. I thought you were going over.
I like the Panthers and I like the Falcons this year to be better than they were last year, which makes that division that much harder. And even last year, up until the last 2 weeks of the season, the Falcons and the Buccaneers were fighting to win that division, and the Falcons had control, I believe, a lot of last season. So it's hard for me to say, well, the Bucs are leagues ahead of a team that I considered bad in the Falcons last year that still almost won the division. So I'm going to say under 9.5. I'll say they get 9.
See, that's kind of the thing with me is like nine wins is still a pretty solid season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's tough though because, like you said, they have so many weapons. I love Baker. They didn't really lose a lot. Yeah, it's a tough one. That is a tough one. Gosh. I'm going to go over, though, and my reasoning is this. When I think of division winners, I think of at least 10 games. Like, winning a division with 9 games is pretty rare.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm saying, who do I think is going to win this division? And I think it's going to be the Bucs. I think they get to 10, and they win the division. So I'm going to go over.
Well, my counter argument is there are teams that win their division with losing records that make the playoffs, and that happens often.
It's rare, though.
The 7-9 team wins the division and goes to the playoffs. We've seen that.
I've seen it, but it's rare. I don't see it every year.
Is it that rare? I'm curious. I don't know how to look that up.
So last year, every division winner had at least 10 wins. 2023, the Bucs won with 9 wins. Everybody else had at least 10. 2022, the Jags won their division with 9. Okay, so the Bucks won the division in 2022 with 8.
Mm-hmm. Was that 8-8 or 8-9 back then?
In 2022, I think it was 8 and 9. Yeah, 8 and 9. 2021, everybody had at least 10 wins. So yeah, I mean, it does happen. It's not I don't know. I don't think of it as a yearly thing. Oddly enough, the Bucks have done it twice in the last 5 years. But I'm still gonna go with it. I like Baker and those weapons too much. They gotta win at 10. All right. So going on the Falcons, they 9 came close to winning that division. They lost Rondale Moore, actually out last year. Drew Dahlman on the offensive line, Matthew Eddie Goodman, Lonzo Carter, Justin Simmons, Richie Grant.
Sorry, I looked it up. Did the Washington football team win the division at 7-9 in 2020?
In 2020, I didn't go back that far, so they might have.
2010, the Seahawks won at 7-9. 2014, Carolina Panthers 7-8-1. Broncos 8-8. 2011. There's a lot of bad teams. It's crazy.
But it's not like every year.
No, not every year.
I don't know.
It's just enough that I remember it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. Okay, sorry.
All right, so the Falcons gained Morgan Fox, Leonard Floyd, Jordan. They didn't gain a lot. They drafted Jalen Walker, James Pierce, Xavier Watts, Billy Bowman. Biggest thing for the Falcons is that
that defense looks
Michael Penix Jr. Yeah, they did finally, because I believe the stat is in the last, I think, 3 seasons, the Falcons have the least amount of sacks in the NFL. So their pass rush has been a running joke for a while. They did sign and draft some people. Michael Penix will be their starter week 1, supposedly, even though they kept Kirk Cousins around for some reason.
Did you see that picture from television of live TV where they misspelled Penix with an S?
No, they didn't.
Either I'm falling for internet propaganda, but it was on some pretty prominent Twitter accounts.
Yeah, I gotta. That feels like you fell for a joke. It's like the bunnies bouncing on the trampoline that my mom's telling me was fake.
yeah, for sure.
I was just like, yeah, that's real because it's cute, and I don't want to break your heart. But, all right. So the Falcons, their record 8-9. FanDuel has their over/under 8.5. So basically, kind of exactly where they were. And again, like we talked about, I do think they got better. But getting to 9 wins, and I already, because I have the Bucks going over, I guess the Falcons could still win 9 games. That's it's tough. Man, I'm gonna go with over. Because I feel like they could get to 9. And I thought Michael Penix looked pretty good at the end of last year. Watching him in the Commanders game, and then they played the Panthers really well. So I think Penix is going to be solid. Maybe they'll finally get Kyle Pitts involved. Bijan Robinson's a stud, and then the defense should be a lot better. So getting to 9 wins and keeping up with the Bucks, challenging for the division. I think they can do it.
I love that this week we've decided to not do the same things because I'm going under. I'll say 7-9, or it wouldn't be 7-9. It would be 7-10, right? I'm saying 7-10 or 8-9 for Falcons.
Okay.
Under.
So you have the Bucks and the Falcons under. So you must really believe in the Panthers.
I don't know about the Saints, but I certainly believe in the Panthers.
All right. So Carolina last year finished 5-12. Lost Ian Thompson, Thomas tight end, Brady Christian, Shaq Thompson, good linebacker, Jordan Fuller. They gained Rico Dowdle, backup halfback, Bobby Brown, Patrick Jones, Christian Roseboone, Trevor Morrig, that's good safety. Drafted Tate McMillan, Nick Scouton, Princely Umanamelans, and Trevor Etienne. They drafted Trevor Etienne?
They did.
I thought Trevor Etienne went somewhere else.
Nope. Trevor Etienne.
So they had Travis and Trevor? I could have sworn Trevor went somewhere
Trevor's
else.
on
right.
Travis is on the Jags.
That's my problem. I'm thinking, okay, yes, that's Carolina, Jacksonville. They came in the league at the same time, so I was just them into a team. All right, and then FanDuel has their over/under at 6.5.
Over.
All right, so I was gonna say you seem to be a big supporter of the Panthers, so I figured you'd go first.
This is my 2025 Patriots.
Okay.
Because I like Tate McMillan. I like their depth at running back with Etienne, Dowdle, and if Jonathan Brooks can find a way to start playing football.
No, I think he's out for the season already, but they have Chuba Hubbard.
Well, yeah, and they have Chuba, so yeah. Their depth at running back looks good. Thielen, who you would have thought did after the first half of the season last year was going to retire, is back. Who had a crazy second half of the season. Anyone that picked him up off of the free agent list in fantasy last year might have won their league the way he played. It was crazy. Xavier Leggett, who I also love, Jalen Coker. They've got Hunter Renfrow. Jatavian Sanders, a Texas tight end they signed last year, who I like, with Tommy Trimble. Like, I just like their offense a lot. And then you look at who they signed. They signed a lot of good defensive players. Patrick Jones, I like. Morg, like you said. And the draft picks they got. I think it's going to be a good team. I like the way Bryce Young played to end last season. So if he can play an entire season the way he did the second half of last season, then the team will be good. And I think they can. Despite the fact that Bryce Young is short.
I agree. I like everything about the Panthers except the quarterback. So I'm going to go under. I think whoever they draft next year in the first round is set up very well. Because, they do have a lot of great receivers, great running backs. It will be a very good team for Arch Manning or whoever. But, well, we shall see. So far, we are different on every single one in this division and the Titans. So, the South divisions are where we're going to...
The worst divisions.
Yeah, that's for the problem, is they're so up in the air.
The literal both sides worst divisions.
All right, last but not least, we got the New Orleans Saints, 2024 5-12. Signed new head coach Kellen Moore, who was the offensive coordinator for the Eagles. They lost Jamal Williams, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Lucas Patrick's a good guard, Peyton Turner, Willie Gay, Paulson Adebo, Will Harris. They signed Brandon Cooks back. That's cool. Dylan Randoon's a good guard. Will Clapp, good. Gotcha. Isaac Yadman, Justin Reed. They signed Calvin Banks, Tyler Shook. A bunch of other people.
Stutzman.
And they also lost to Derek Carter. Yes, Danny Stutzman.
Stutzman's a beast in college.
They lost Derek Carr, too. I forgot to put that on there. He did retire, and so did the Honey Bat. Two big pieces there. So, it seems like Shook probably will be their starter week 1 unless they want to again. FanDuel has their over-under at 4.5. I'm going under. I know that's but I think there's a legitimate chance this will win 17, so I'm definitely going under.
You know what really hurts? Sorry, I got distracted by one of the names on the Lost here. Jamal Williams isn't on the team?
No, he visited with the Bears last week, but he is unsigned.
That's insane to me.
Yeah. Dude, running backs, like, once they hit a certain age, the NFL is just like...
Yeah. No, makes sense. Dameon Pierce, the guy from the Jaguars before ETN.
Dameon Pierce, that's the one I was trying to think of with the Texans. They signed Nick Chubb to basically be Dameon Pierce, even though he's like 8 years older than Dameon Pierce.
Yeah.
But it's like, I love Nick Chubb, but I usually think you'd want to stick with the younger guy, but whatever. So what you think with the Saints?
It's 4.5. They won 5 last year. I don't see how they could be worse than they were last year.
Really? Losing Derek Carr?
Derek Carr? Derek Carr wasn't even good last year. He got benched.
Better than a guy who's never played in the NFL. I trust Derek Carr more than Tyler Shook.
Shook played football in college for like 8 years. The guy's 26. He's basically a veteran.
For 8 years, really?
Shook is 26 years old. He played college for a long time.
Let's see.
Shook stats. There we go.
Oh, yeah, 2018. Played 3 games for Oregon. Didn't attempt to pass. So he played 3 years at Oregon, 3 years at Texas Tech, and 1 year at Louisville. He's played 42 career games. So 42 career games in 8 years
of college football. So I'm going to go
games over. in 8 years is not that impressive, though.
He's been around a lot of football. Whether he played,
knows how to hold that clipboard.
So,
nope, knows how to hold that clipboard. That's going to win him a lot of games.
That is an important statistic to track.
Well, yeah. So definitely the NFC South is going to be
the determining factor
in our over-unders.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be a fun. At least it'll give us a reason to follow the NFC.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, there you go. That is our episode 4, week 2 preview of the preseason.
Yeah, thankfully we got the video back and recording to post on YouTube. So if you're listening to this...
all 3 of you that watch it.
Yeah. If you're listening to this, you can find us on YouTube at Coffin Corners. Or is it Coffin Corner Podcast? Coffin Corner. YouTube. Well, I can't remember our socials anymore. It's been that long in the off season. Coffin Corner. Yeah, there you go. YouTube.com/@Coffin Corner. That is our YouTube. There's been 10 of you for a very long time. Let's change that.
Thanks,
please.
All 10.
Yeah, for all 10 of you that follow, we appreciate you. But if you are listening to this, please go follow our YouTube. Help us bump that up. Help us get that algorithm moving better, and hopefully we can get.
And hey, if you listen to the podcast, give us a tweet or comment on YouTube. We'll just give you a shout out on the podcast. You want to hear us, just give you a shout out?
You want to hear your name? Good. Say hello.
Yeah.
Comment on the YouTube.
Why not?
Hit us up on Twitter at Coffin Corner.
Yeah, and, why not?
So there you go. And if you're watching this and you don't know about the podcast, well, Coffin Corner Podcast, you can find it anywhere. Look in the middle of your screen. You see that little pylon icon. That's where you'll find us. So there you go.
I thought you said if you're listening to this and you don't know about the podcast, well, I guess they now.
About the YouTube.
They've been listening for an hour. Yeah. I thought you said
we don't have
if
listeners. The most unprofessional, confusing podcast to ever exist.
We're amateurs.
That's right, but we have fun. So there's that.
If someone wants to pay us, we'll be professionals.
Yeah, exactly. Hit up Coffin Corner Podcast at Outlook if you're interested in that.
Yes. You can sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, there we go. All right, everybody.
We should just find local sponsors in the Phoenix area.
Dude, when we had the beer beer podcast.
Can Ralphie sponsor us?
Who?
Can Ralphie sponsor us?
Oh,
No, Ralphie, the
yeah.
lawyer. I think, yeah.
Call Ralphie. I can sing the song for you every week, Ralphie. There you go.
That'd be amazing.
All right. We'll be back next week for episode 5, covering another of the sections of the nautical. Is it nautical map? North, south, east, west? Isn't that a?
That's just
atlas?
directions.
No, there's a name for it. Anyways.
I mean, technically, that is nautical. We used north, south, east, and west in the Navy, so sure.
All right. Well, anyways, we'll be back next week.
We will be doing the North next week.
There you go. North divisions next week. That'll be fun. So come back next week. Hang out with us. It'll be a lot of fun. Until then, thanks for listening, and good luck to your teams this week. I don't care if they're playing mine because it's preseason and it doesn't matter. So until next week, see you later.